everybody to this month's agency story. This is something we try to do every single month, and it's powered by Channable. For the ones that don't know Channable, yes, I think everyone already knows it or heard from it, but Channable is a multi-channel platform which is designed to empower advertisers and agencies and brands in enhancing their e-commerce performance. We have a comprehensive set of tools and features that enables you to efficiently manage and optimize your presence across various online channels. We work a lot with agencies, and one of the key advantages of Channable for the marketing agencies is the ability to centralize and automate many aspects of the e-commerce management. It saves significant time and resources, and it enables the marketing agencies to focus on strategic initiatives and delivering exceptional results for their clients. We wanted to do something for the marketing agencies, but also with the marketing agencies, and that's why we invented the agency stories. Basically, this is a space where agencies and industry experts share their knowledge and expertise and encourage other marketing professionals to grow within the dynamic landscape of online marketing and e-commerce. Like I said, this is why we will host one webinar every single month to inspire you all. In the future, we will cover topics such as marketplaces, social commerce, PPC, etc. But today we have a very interesting topic, which is AI-driven success in marketing from click to conversion. AI, ChatGPT, it's a very hot topic. It's huge. Everyone is talking about it. Everyone is posting about it on LinkedIn. But today we will try to have a little bit of a different approach to the webinar and hopefully teach you and learn you things you never heard before. The main focus of the webinar today will be about the improvement of the acquisition and conversion rates with using AI. It's going to be very practical. We're gonna mention concrete tools, technologies, actionable tips for implementing AI in the marketing strategy, and it will be very factual. So Faraz, who I'm going to introduce in a minute, will present you with 2 real-world case studies. So yeah, hopefully you will learn something and you will enjoy this webinar. First, I'm gonna introduce myself real quick. I'm Lonneke. I'm a customer success manager in Channable, and together with my clients and with marketing agencies, I look strategically how they can grow their business, how they can optimize their accounts, and be profitable and scalable. I'm going to be the host for today, so mainly I will gather all of your questions. If you have any questions, please ask them in the chat, and then halfway through the presentation and at the end of the presentation, I will gather all of the questions and ask them to Faraz, who is our expert of today, and he can elaborate a little bit more on that. So yeah, let's start. I want to give the floor to our expert of today, Faraz.
Good morning, everybody. First of all, sorry for my voice because I've been with a cold. That is normal in this time period of the year. At the end, I'm a digital transformation professional. I've been for 27 years working in these areas. And I work for e-commerce, retail companies, bank companies, pharma companies. And the good thing of moving across all these parts and having one part of my life in the part of the e-commerce and in part of the business, and the other part of my life in technology, is that I always try to get some kind of innovation and driving data-driven marketing to the business. At this point today, I'm the CIO of the La Casa de las Carcasas, that is a big retail of Spain with close of 700 stores in 8 countries. For the end of the year, it will be 1,000 stores in 10 countries between Latin America and Europe. In 5 countries in Europe, in 4 in Latin America. At this point, it will be 6 in Europe with Romania next month. And what I'm going to try to do today is speak more about marketing and leading conversion, speaking about some of the projects that I have been doing during the last 2 years. Why I choose 2 years? Because 2 years ago, we don't have ChatGPT. And one of the things that I want is to boost and to focus in the power of AI for boosting the acquisition, not only by ChatGPT, because at the end you can find hundreds of tips, hundreds of things about ChatGPT, but it's not what the money is. And I'm going to go directly where the money is. I'm going to try to explain you in 2 real cases. Later on, you can find the companies and these things. I was going to speak about it, about how we deal with it during these 2 years and how the artificial intelligence help us in both cases to speed up and to boost the business to some really incredible results. That's the reason that I'm going to use this, because I probably have like 10, 12 cases in the last 2 years, but these two are very representative because of the results and because of the complexity and the different ways that we use AI in both of the projects. I want to begin with a quote. This time, all the quotes are from Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI. Artificial intelligence will transform the world, either for better or worse. It's up to us to make sure it's for better. And the best thing of this phrase is, in the meantime that I explained this phrase before of going to the presentation, I'm going to launch a poll. Please answer the poll, because we are going to take the results from the poll. Here I go. You have the poll. Are you seeing the poll at this time? I'm going to submit my vote also. And what's the good thing of it? We are speaking about artificial intelligence. Some of the cases we speak about losing jobs, about changing things. You know what I learned from artificial intelligence in the last 12 years that I've been working with, and especially in the last 2 years with the SaaS and the open platforms have boosted the use of artificial intelligence, that you don't lose jobs, you specialize the jobs, and you decrease the times of the efforts for making the processes. And that's one of the use for better that we need to use at this point. Thank you very much for the results of the poll. We'll move forward and I will make some questions later on. First of all, this is our first case. This is an EdTech. This is an EdTech in the US with global scope. It means it was selling to everybody that speaks English around the world: South Africa, Egypt, India, UK, for sure, United States and Canada, and any open thing, and provide online learning from prestigious institutions. It means from the Ivy League. The trainings, it was master's training courses. It depends, because it depends whether we call PhD or not, from MIT, Oxford, Imperial College, and Cambridge. That's clearly important, because the most important thing that we have at this point was the brand, because people want to make a course of Oxford or MIT. But the point is there is such an offer with some of big players around the world providing similar trainings. Even every training of these universities is prepared for every platform. There are some ones that are very, very similar, and the competitors were extremely huge, and they have enough quantity of money and power and brand awareness to do whatever it was needed. Why we are telling this? Because there was a startup that was for 2 years spending money in acquisition in any way for growing enough for receiving the next investment, and that was the point that we reached the company. We have a 4 million H1 budget of marketing. I arrived there 30 of June. It means that it was the budget before our arrival of my team. And the customer acquisition, we use AdWords, Facebook, LinkedIn campaigns, and the creativity text campaigns along the website, the site, it was locked, because everything needed to pass for the approval of any of the universities. And in the EdTech industry, and especially with this kind of trainings, there is this seasonality. It means in October and November you sold 30% of your things. In May, March, April, May, you sold a near 30%, and the rest is split for the rest of the year. It means that being 1st of July there with no information, no data analytics, wherever, it was very, very risky to try to change anything that needs to be approved by the universities, because it takes months for it. It means that we have several complaints about how to deal with the thing. The numbers, the fact and numbers, we have 16 courses with different cores during the year. Some of the courses have 2 cores, the other have 4 cores. five cores. 90% of the cost of acquisition were 93% of the cost of the training, because they already have been paying like $8,000 for picking a seat for a training that cost 2,650 euros. It means they were paying for fulfillment of the cohorts, not for getting any profit. And the average order value was this. Why? Because what happened when somebody needs to fill a cohort? They put promos, more things. The call center was giving promos every time, and that was the situation that we found at 30 of June of 2022. What was our challenge? Our challenge was to decrease the cost per acquisition less than 40%, because if not, the company were not profitable, and then it will not receive the next investment. And it need to be done by optimizing budgets and improving cost of acquisition. During the time, it means that we have October and November for doing most of the job, some things in December, and during July and August and September, we need to make all the improvements, all the tests, because if not, we are not going to reach the point. And you know that during 3 months, that's July, August, and September, we are going to be having this cost per acquisition so huge, and probably we will need to compensate it later on with a better thing. It was a very, very, very difficult challenge, one of the difficult ones that I found in my life. How we approach it. We make an approach based on strategic decisions, based on deep data analysis, and most of them combined with artificial intelligence, because if not, the time frame that we need for make these decisions and for take this data on will be less a year, and we have only 6 months. And really, in fact, we were 3 months for putting the motor to run and then to make the rollout of our next steps. And we focus in improved target audiences and determining the appropriate courses for promotion. For example, who wants to be in a zero net training of MIT? Okay, yeah, environmental is so nice and it is a trend, but the reality is there is not a high demanded training. It's demanded only for some professionals that are working in this area. It's not crypto, it's not still cybersecurity. These are the ones that are high demand. We need to choose how to focus, where to focus. The actions that we conduct, we are going to go one by one for all the actions. The first one was optimizing analytics. We get that they have a lot of analytics placed in a BI platform. In this case was Tableau, make for a team of analysis, but nobody was making proper analysis. Then we take all the data, go into Zoho Analytics. At this point, they have no SIA. SIA, the artificial intelligence of Zoho, was placed in this year. And we make a strong effort for understanding what courses, what audiences, and what courts are really profitable, to focus only on these ones. Here I have a problem. That is, okay, yeah. And then we select the courses. What we did, we use a platform that everybody of you can use, that is obviously EI. It's one of the best platforms for making time series, prospections, regressions, and any kind of lead performance. And we use 2 of the algorithms that they already have. One was the percentage, the possibility of percentage of leads that are going to buy your training by working cohorts versus sales. And the other one was the regression for knowing what are the trainings that are really having most conversion in the call center against the leads, after seeing what percentage of the audiences were converting. Both together give us the point that we only need 5 trainings to be promoted. And that was one of the first changes. Instead of promote 16 trainings, you're going to promote 5 trainings. And the good thing about this promoting 5 trainings is that we focus only in one source of incomes. That was LinkedIn ads. Why? Because all these 5 trainings were very easy to set and fit the audiences in LinkedIn. And then instead of having to increase the performance in Facebook, in Google, in LinkedIn, we can only focus in LinkedIn. We make some things with Google Ads. It was not that we delete Google Ads off the map, but it was little efforts only for things that have a high rates of search. But for the rest of the things, we focus on LinkedIn, and then we go to the analysis and we change how we deal this advertising in LinkedIn. The most important thing, they have like 1,246, 47 ads. That's a crazy thing for 16 courses for all type of audiences, and we go into 143. It's the truth. First we go to 320, and then we were decreasing during the next 2 months, seeing what is of this advertising were covering the predictions that we have for DA of obviously, and then we finished with 143 advertising that were extremely profitable, and then we make some probabilistic lead matching with obviously again, and we try. We're only pushing and pressing the money for getting more and less leads. I have to tell you that I have an email from the LinkedIn key account manager saying that they never see a conversion like that in EdTech in US. Okay, why this is important? Because we go for a dynamic lead cost model. What we see in the regression and progression algorithms that we use, and obviously that the cost of the lead gathering and the conversion was directly related to the period and the time for the beginning of the course. It means if you are in October and the course begins at the beginning of November, your leads will be cheaper, but the conversion will be lower. And then we work to a dynamic lead cost model. It means we set what should be the minimum cost of the lead, the maximum cost of the leads, and we will change the advertising for getting as much leads as our call center can handle. And then making a proper analytics of it. And the last point was for the rest of the trainings, for the other 11 trainings, we let it to B2B, and we go and we help the B2B to sell enough seats for the course for making these courses profitable. Not so much. It means the minimum ones, because, for example, in an Oxford Cybersecurity, we can put up to 85 persons in a cohort. In a zero net, with 10 persons, we are covered. That's the only thing that we need, okay? And the other thing is we begin with a growth hacking experiments, for beginning with the CRM targeting, for making cross-selling to the alumni. It means if somebody past year make the crypto course of Oxford, why this year they are not going to make the cybersecurity ones? And the other thing was, by preference base, help them to make promotion. It means if you make a prescription, you are going to get a promo for your friends or for yours. You can choose if it will be for both or for you, helping to make all this database of alumni working for us, even they don't get any point. And in some of the cases, we decide to give Amazon gift cards instead of promos, because we know that some people, for the kind of trainings and the position that they have in their companies, they are not going to make 2 courses of $3,000 cost. And then you give them 100 Amazon gift card for every person that joins any of our trainings, and it works. But it was all CRM, and it was focusing Black Friday and in Christmas campaign. And that was mainly the actions that we conduct. I think everything was made with analytics and was based in 2 AI tools. One was obviously the progression, regression, and T-series, and the other one was when we go to the analytics, we were setting the audiences and comparing the audiences with simple algorithms of obviously that we made ourselves against the ones that we have created before. Without these algorithms and these analytics, the job should take like 9 months to a year to be done, and we did it in 3 months, and it gave us any other 3 months for succeed. Why this is important? Because there was the closure numbers of 2022. They received the investment. Even later on, the company was acquired by any other company, and the stop exists, but at the end, the money was there. The cost per acquisition was 37.3%. Remember, there was in 93%. Okay, it becomes a profitable startup. The other point, it was the marketing department was 24 persons, and my team was 9 persons. And when we left, it was 3 persons on it. This is one of the things. Making profitable a company that have 100 persons working on it is not only speeding up the acquisition, it's only cutting out the costs that are not reliable and not feasible for the business. The good thing is, as we stop we didn't stop, but we decreased the promo that the call center were offering. We only set promos when we were 4 to 5 days to the training because of the dynamic leads policy. The average order value were increased by $80 per training. And the budget that we spent was $2 million. That it was a 65% of the allocated budget. Remember that the H1 was 4 million. For the H2, we don't have so many, we don't have so much money. We have 2 million and 9, close to 3 million. And that was the interesting point. Spending 35% less of money, we get the best results that the company have. This case helps us to illustrate the impact of artificial intelligence and deep analytics. If I have to make this job today, obviously, I will use probably SIA of Zoho Analytics, and most of the small cases of the advertising should go through ChatGPT for searching the patterns and using these patterns again in SIA and Zoho Analytics. It means technology evolves, tools evolves, but the job is the same. Okay, and whenever you take a data-driven holistic approach and you make a continuous optimization of advertising, because in this case there was not it was a little bit of organic traffic, and as you can imagine, in 6 months you cannot make organic one of your first approach. That it will be in a long-term strategy what I should probably look for. And the other point, the adaptability and the innovative leverage of available technology. You need to adapt to the technology that you have, and you need to stop thinking about things like ChatGPT. The money is in the data, and it is in the data. Tools like SIA, tools like UX tools like Clarity, tools like obviously, or any other tools more complex like SAS, things are going to give you a more profitable solution than the ones that you apply in the part of the ads that is ChatGPT. And that was the point that I want to share with you at this case, that whenever you find that the data, the base of the business, why I'm going to promote this part, why I'm spending money in this whatever product, why I am going to change the way they approach, is data driven, and with artificial intelligence, you can do it in a fourth part of time. And that's one of the interesting things of artificial intelligence today. That was the first case. I guess that there are some questions in the chat later on. We will try to respond some of them. But I'm going to go to my second phrase. And as you know, as I told you before, if it's the second phrase, it's the second pull. And then I will love that you give us some responses. I'm going to give mine. Okay, and when we're speaking about EA, we need to move to generative EA, because if not, there will be not such a webinar in 2024. Okay, generative EA has the potential to be one of the most impactful technologies we have developed, capable of transforming creativity, design, and human interaction in ways that we are only beginning to imagine. That's the important thing. All the part that we call creativity. I'm not speaking about Sora with the videos, about DALL-E, about Midjourney. We use all of them except Sora, that is not available to the public. What we need to understand is when a person is needed for the creativity and when the artificial intelligence is going to work for you to improve the job or to increase the number of art pieces that you're going to develop. In my next case, I'm going to speak about it because we have a different approach. And as you can imagine, this case is very, very, very nice and very easy because it was done past year from April to October. At the end, it was up to December. It was here in La Casa de las Carcasas because I joined the company for help the online department to make a big change within the e-commerce. And later on, I joined to the part of technology. That is my current position today. But I'm going to tell you how we deal with a big change in an e-commerce that have a retail part. First of all, before going to the second step, I think that we have some questions. If you want Lenek to help me to find some of them and try to answer them, I will be more than pleased.
So far, we don't have a lot of questions yet. I think everyone is eagerly listening to your interesting story. For the viewers, do you have any questions so far for Fares? There was one question, if we could share the link or some names of the AI tools that were mentioned. And then I said that all the slides and recordings will be shared after the webinar, so you can always look back at it.
Unmute.
I see. Congrats.
I was mute because I was talking. Excuse me. I give you obviously AI. The other one is SIA by Soho Analytics. And there will be any others, but at the point, there was the two first that probably you will use at this point because ChatGPT, you already know it, okay?
Yeah.
Let's go to the next step. Some tools, yeah, I give you a couple of them, but there is hundreds of them. In the next case, I will go to some of them, and probably these questions should be answered later on in the next case link, suppose. Okay, let's go to the next one. This case is one of the cases that I love more because it was the one that bring me to my current position, and it was one of these challenges that you can never imagine. Multinational retail with an e-commerce specialized in mobile accessories, including 2 labels brands in 6 languages, active in marketplaces and in store kiosk. It means at this point we were only in 6 countries, not in 8, like we were today, and not in 10 like we were for the end of the year. We have 2 brands, La Casa de las Carcasas and Chameleon, because as you can imagine, La Casa de las Carcasas is very complex for an Hungarian, Romanian, or Polish person. We have our own websites with a portal for every country. We have, for sure, out of all the websites, marketplaces, mainly Amazon. And also we have in-store kiosk. I mean, when you can personalize your case, your phone case. And when you are doing this in one of our stores, really you are doing it in an e-commerce platform, in a tablet placed in the store. It means that it's a pure e-commerce within the store, okay? And this is our three points of revenue. Even we are in Moldavia, we are in any other small marketplaces and what things. That's our main point, okay? We have made 2 million budget past year. It means 2022. Acquisition was done on AdWords and Facebook framework. It means Facebook or Instagram, because WhatsApp was not able in Spain. And advertising management was split among 4 agencies, 2 in Spain and 2 that works international. What was the points that we have here? 1% of CBR, but it was not real, because as I will told you later on, it was mixed the traffic that are going to buy with the traffic that are searching for our stores, okay? The rows of the AdWords and social was awful. In AdWords, we have 1.74, and in Facebook, we were losing money. 32 cents of every euro were lost because we are losing money with the advertising. And the average order value was moving through the 21 mainly. This is a media of all the year, as you can imagine. Oh my God. It's only seconds, but here. Okay, what was the challenge? The challenge was we have 8 months, because it was April to the end of the year, to increase 8% year-on-year sales. And the interesting point were in negative, 5% in negative in Q1. Okay, we need to focus on improving conversion, the average order value, and the automations within the e-commerce, because at the end, the conversion, when you want to increase the conversion, the first thing that you need to do is automations within your e-commerce, car recovery, switching, dynamic promotion, dynamic content, this kind of stuff. And for the acquisition part, we want to have a stable level of hours and social ads, and we need to improve it at least 4x. It means improve by 4 the rows that we have in less than 8 months. Okay. Our approach to overcome these challenges, we have 2 key initiatives. The first one was make advanced analytics, because for sure the analytics were so basic, and was based in the GA4. We need to make customized marketing, and the most important thing, we need to optimize CX, customer experience effectiveness, were implemented. It means having the same experience from the acquisition to the end of the sale, of buying some of the products. The actions that we can do. The first all is for enhance the customer acquisition, and for sure optimization of copy and product image, and how for a high quality search. The first thing was improve our search engine. But one of the things that you need to understand is our e-commerce was so poor in the visual part. It's still been a little bit poor, but that's for something different, because before we need to change something in the basis before of making the UI transformation. And that's the reason that it's not done today. It's on the way. But the first thing was the images, the description, this kind of stuff. And then the first thing that we make is optimization analytics. We place Matomo for having a cookieless solution that we can implement in all the infrastructure. It means not only in the web pages, also in our registration page of the CRM, always in some of our initiatives like Help Me, that is to find your phone, these kind of things. And we use GA4 always repository clarity. That is the EA part. What we done, we have our sales. Oh my God. Sorry, because this is not even normal. I was so many times. The point is, we optimize the web analytics, and we compare the results of web analytics with the Clarity results. Clarity is the AI tool for Microsoft for CX, and you can use Copilot within Clarity for find patterns, find errors, and these kind of things. For example, we find what was rates clicks, the clicks that you make when you don't find something, how many get backs you had, these kind of things that normally in analytics you are not going to see by cohort, by type of client, by type of product, and you can see it in and that was one of the first changes. And all the data that we get in Matomo, as is non-structured data, were sent directly to Zoho Analytics for ensuring with SIA that we found the patterns of the use, and that was the way that we built the funnel in our platforms. After that, we optimize the sales funnels, and the first thing that we make was separating the retail search traffic and the product search traffic, and establishing a fitting below the funnel. It means advertising for performance. Okay. And then we go to the text improvement using the API for Meta, and ensuring that the remarketing and the automation were set by events. We create the ads with AI. It means we get our value proposition. We use this value proposition within ChatGPT for creating advertising. We test this advertising within Meta, and we use the API with the events that we have in the repository GA4 for knowing when we're going to make a retargeting and when we are going to make in-page action, and what's to happen if these in-page actions are not clicked because we're already in our analytics. And then we begin to make the fine-tuning. In the last months, we have been using the AI of Meta for making for giving us recommendations of the buttons of text, but at the very beginning we're doing by ourselves. It means we create like 74, 75 advertising, and then, oh, I lost my camera. We create 74, 75 advertising, and we launch the advertising. We make the analytics of the advertising by events, not by conversion, and we begin to discover with clarity if the people are finding what was supposed to be found or not. And then we get these events through the search, because 90% of our sales come to the search part. What we did with it? I'm losing my camera, and I think that is something of this. If you lose my camera, don't worry. Okay. And then we begin to improve our ads. Now we have like 22, 23 ads that are working perfectly.
Fares, I'm going to interrupt you for 1 second because we have a very bad internet connection. So sometimes it's quite difficult to hear you. I'm going to disable your camera for a while so you will have some better sound. Is that okay? Yeah, perfect.
It's perfect for me because I think that nobody wants to see me. It's more important to understand the content. Okay, perfect. Okay, I don't know what is happening. This is something with the Wi-Fi. Excuse me. At this point, the point is, then I'm going to go back to the previous one. When we use the API and the events and the remarketing, all this data were in a non-structured base of data. And then we get this data from the Facebook reports, from Matomo events, and for clarity, and we put it all together in Zoho Analytics with CAI. And then that is the artificial intelligence of Zoho. And then we found the patterns of what audiences and what products were the ones that are giving us more conversion. That was the first part of the data driven. And then we begin to use ChatGPT, Midjourney, and any other tools for creating different versions of these ads and this text and test it again. And every month we were making this analysis. We didn't make it in real time because real time is not good for these parts, because you have historic time, because the maturity time period for buying something is 4 to 7 days, this kind of stuff. And then we go to the AI generated content. And as you can imagine, we go to Canva. We use the Canva functionality of translating videos for translating videos to other languages. And we go to the Canva functionality to CSV to image or text to image for creating our templates, dozens of different versions of our advertising. And that was the part of generative AI for increasing the things. And the next point for sure will be incentive, search, and recommendation. And here we are going to speak about AI in any other way. We integrate DoFinder. DoFinder is a search platform, as can be Algolia, for example, that they have an artificial intelligence working inside DoFinder for helping you to find the ways of decreasing the number of characters in the search. As you know, as much characters you put and most results. The other thing is the recommendation in DoFinders depends on data that you get from analytics, connecting with the analytics that we have. Then we go to, and this increase the conversion rate because of the search to buy-in that we're happening with DoFinder. The other part is we put Octone. Octone is a chatbot that out of working with ChatGPT, that we only have the ChatGPT neuroprocessing language part in 2 areas of the web. In the rest, it's only as a chat. But Octone is connected to DoFinder. They have their own artificial intelligence, and you can use the artificial intelligence for making recommendations within the chat. And Connective, that is the third platform that we use, that is the one that we use for marketing automation, is already connected to the Finder and Octone. It means that we have 3 tools that use their own artificial intelligence, connected and integrated both together. This is because they have a partnership, and it makes that all the algorithms of the 3 platforms are working together in all the areas that are not acquisition. And that was one of the main changes. This is not affecting to our return of advertising, but it's affected to the conversion rate so high. And this is 2003 class numbers. We have a 2.1 conversion rate. Then we need to understand that we didn't make the improvement from 1% to 2.1%, because most of the traffic was traffic searching for our stores, and we separate these traffics. We didn't know what was exactly the number, but be sure that probably will be 1.4, 1.5. It means that our ingredient was not so high. But that's the reason to make a tailored funnel and an improver search. Our average order value moves to 22.4. Why? Because in the moment that you provide a better search and the advertising is focused on the below of the funnel part, the average order value goes. And the most important thing, our current return of advertising in Google is 8.8, and our current return of advertising in social is 6.4. That's mainly amazing, because we are not using any agency. The job, I'm lying to you. The part of the Google Ads is made by the agency that makes the analytics and made the search engine optimization part. And the part of the social, that is the one that I'm most proud of, is made by 2 persons in our team that never get in business in the business framework of Google. It means they begin from nothing, and they give us a 6.4 row the return of advertising, with 4 agencies who are losing money. Why? Because they know the business, because the analytics so clear, and now we are making, and we use the artificial intelligence part for creating things. We are going to move into agencies, sure, next year. Whenever we have them at the top of the funnel and middle of the funnel properly done, we will move it to an agency. But at the end, these persons are going to control what the agency does, because the problem of the agencies that we have were not that they were good or bad, is they don't have a proper analytics and they don't have a proper guidance for the business. And that was the reason that the results were so good. Okay? And that's mainly the second case. At the end, the relevant figures that are not included here is the sale was 8.4 year on year. It means that we got a 0.4 over the goal, and we have a 224% of EBITDA. That's the important thing, because we spend less money for making more profits. And as a plus, because it was not counted within the part, we have a 28% Amazon growth, because at the end we were applying the same kind of approach to the Amazon part. But as this is not directly relevant to the acquisition, it's also related to quality, to deliverables, reviews, and this kind of things. I didn't include it within this presentation. And this case is mainly proving that if you integrate leading-edge technologies, because this was brand new in March, brand new in April, artificial intelligence-based customization results is a major transformation in e-commerce effectiveness and operational performance, and it leads to significant boost in return of advertising, conversions, and for the sure in average ticket value. And the most important thing for making this success is the state-of-the-art solution that we get. The company make a big risk for doing things that nobody was tested before, because it was brand new. It was January, February, March when some of these solutions were released to the market. And this is here our last phrase, and for sure our last pool, and I will go for questions after that. Give me a second for launching the pool and for giving my response for sure. We must be as careful with artificial intelligence as we would be with biotechnology, because its impact on the world can be enormous. This phrase means exactly what it means. Artificial intelligence is the last big revolution. If we translate this way of thinking to our part, is Don't get charmed by the shiny objects. Let's stop thinking that ChatGPT or advertised creation or whatever is going to change your life. Artificial intelligence included within the processes that you are using today is what are going to change your results, not the tools by itself or not the persons by themselves. It's included within the processes. And these are the two cases that I want to present. That's the moment for questions, Lynette.
Thank you so much, Faraz. I think it was a very interesting presentation. Wonderful results that you shared with us. We have a lot of questions, so I will try to cover them all. The first question from Valentin said you talked about a probabilistic lead matching algorithm. Was it working with AI or was it a company property tool?
It was obviously AI. It was one of the algorithms that obviously AI offered you directly in the algorithms that you have. If you go to obviously AI, you can go directly and find the probabilistic lead. I have to tell you something. For a project of hospitality industry, for a hotel industry, the previous year we pay the pro version of obviously that is 3,000 per month because it was a huge quantity of data we want to manage and it was revenue management. But normally with the 12,000 tokens that they give you with the free version is more than enough for 90% of the jobs that you're going to find out.
Perfect. Thank you so much. The next question is, what is your favorite analytics solution?
Power BI, for sure. It's Power BI. The point is, as in most of the cases, Power BI needs a lot of knowledge about a lot of knowledge for the business and a building of a BI part. For small and fast analytics, I used to use Zoho Analytics with SIA, and the one that we are using in La Casa de las Carcasas is a BI solution. Is Metabase, because in Metabase we include the data from Atomo for GA, for the e-commerce, and with these things, Metabase. But the point is, if you ask me about my favorite one, is Power BI for sure.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. We have another one that says, what is the right strategy for innovation of world durability?
Excuse me, can you repeat it, please, because I hear it?
What is the strategy on innovation of the world durability? That is the question.
Wow. let me go on it because I didn't understand the question for sure.
Maybe it's Dr. Prof. Lebu. Maybe you can elaborate a little bit more in the chat on what you meant by the question, and then we can come back to it.
It's because I don't know what will be the strategy innovation of the world durability. My point is, what should be the strategy innovation? Innovation was defined by Michael Porter in 1980. It means it's the strategy that we're using in most of the cases, but it's trying to do the best with the tools that you have, thinking in new ways of using it. But if you're speaking about AI, for me should be two parts: neuroprocessing languages and data-driven. That the two parts are really matter. The generative part is very fancy, is very cool, is going to change a part of the job, but the two parts that are really keeping innovation, and that's the ones that are going to be during for decades, should be the processing of the language and the data use. That are the both two.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. The next question was about the second case, and Jesse asked, is the attribution of the different channels taken into account when you are determining the ROAS?
Yes, for sure. We have a model of attribution because at the very beginning we begin with one of the models of Google, not the last click, but at the end we finish with the data-driven part. Why should I give you the numbers with this part? Because as we are setting if the person is a new user and finishing the buying is 100% attribution to the advertising. In the other parts, we are using an attribution model of 30-40-30. It depends, first click, visit, last click. We didn't have yet making in the attribution the part of the brand awareness or the part of the brand recognition, because in some of the countries we have this brand recognition because we are very huge, and in others not, and because we are not yet set properly the top of the funnel and middle of the funnel part. We are only set properly the below the funnel because it was our focus at this point.
Okay, thank you for your answer. Jesse also asked a question. Could you give us more insights on how you track the customer journey of different campaigns, platforms, and traffic sources? Do you use a software independent or do you use the ad channels?
Wow, that's not a question. that's Austin. Okay, yes, yeah, I'm going to try to connect to say.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, what I can do later on is sending to the people of Channable the customer journey that we have, and you're going to see exactly, at least for the first case, because it is the one that is more complex. I can send it to you. It's very simple. The customer journey touchpoint map, and then you will find how we deal with it. We already used to use Matomo, always Matomo Analytics, and we used to Matomo Analytics for the web part. And we used to mix the data because when it's CRM, in this case, we were using Hotspot, in the second one, PyDrive. And what we used to make is we used to create dashboards when we set all the data together. Normally, we do this in Metabase. And this is different parts and different data for any of them, as you can imagine. But yes, for sure, I use software independent of the ad channels, because if you go to the Facebook software or the Google software, they always say that you have hundreds of conversions. That's the reason of place the AP of Meta, or to place in the repository via 4 and set the conversions within Matomo, and after that chasing these conversions and putting the data all together with any other source of traffic. In this case would be CRM or any other websites all together, and in this case in Metabase, because Looker that is the one that Google use. When you have thousands of registrations, it goes so bad.
Great. Perfect. Someone else is asking if Channable is providing the option to optimize contacts via IA in the future. So that is something obviously for me to answer. The thing I can say about that is that we have significant resources at the moment to develop AI within Channable. Some of those releases will be released soon, so definitely look out for more information because we will share that with you in the near future. Let's see, we still have quite some questions, so I'm just going to pick a few and then we have to wrap up. Which AI tools do you recommend for AI content creation or ads fine-tuning? Isn't ChatGPT a bit limited?
Yes, for sure. ChatGPT, we use it for creating the value propositions, the first version. Later on, we go to the copywriting process, because ChatGPT make a saving on the, I'm speaking text about at this point. And after this, we go into the platforms, and some of them, as Meta, will give you any other versions. Google is doing it right now in some channels also. Okay, that's with the but it is a first person, second ChatGPT, third copywriting, fourth their own platform. About the other part, that is the image. We used to take at the first page our agencies, content agencies, for create as templates for the ads. These templates used to go to Canva, and we use Canva in so many times. If we need some special images or we need some textures, we used to use Midjourney. And for sure, in some cases, we go to Stable Diffusion and Automatic 1111. But this is for offline advertising that needs more complexity. If you ask me what should be your points, it would be Midjourney and Canva. Midjourney for creation of images, and Canva for the use of templates for advertising. We test some like creative AI and these kind of things that are very cool when you have no idea what to do, but it doesn't work to keep it in your toolkit for more than 1 month or two.
Okay, clear. Thank you so much. Next question from Selena. She says, you talked about the change integration of AI happening starting from 2 years ago. I'm not 100% clear on the change since then. Wasn't AI used in ad optimization back in 2018? It would be helpful to understand what exactly has been enabled since 2022.
I am going to tell you so easy this question. How many SaaS software solutions with AI you have before of 2022? Sorry, you have some. For example, I was using hypersonics for inventory. I was using SaaS that is not SaaS, is a solution for hospitality. There were solutions with AI. I'm using it from 2012. It was the first that I used. That it was a solution in Spain for sure. The point is, from the latest part of for the second half of 2022, we have a lot of platforms that allows any person with a low level payment fee to go into AI. For example, if you go to a website that is called There Is an AI for That, you will find thousands of tools with AI. In 2022, when I want to find a chat version with AI, I have to go to AppSumo, to go to take one of these products that were built by somebody, this kind of stuff. The change is now is a mainstream solution. And before of that, it was not a mainstream solution. You need to fight for it. And in most of the cases, it was not a cheap and easy to handle or easy to use solution.
Perfect. Can you share that website on the chat, Fares, where they can find the list and overview of all the AI solutions?
Give me a second, and I will. As you can imagine, it's in my favorite. Let's go. Oh, excuse me, because it goes not properly. It's trying to go to my Google account. Excuse me, sorry, because I'm going to send you my session. That's not a good way.
Yeah.
Give me a second. Here. It's because when I go to my favorites, I go to my saved things and I go with my session. Here you go.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Then we go to the last question, and then we're going to wrap it up for today. Valentin asked, on social media advertising, do you use other AI than just generating content AI, like an AI combined to Meta API to optimize the best possible targeting and to optimize the CPA?
In the past, yes. Today we are not doing it because at the end we are using the ones of Meta. In the first case, we were using it with obviously AI, and in any other case that I didn't get at this point, we were using a couple of small softwares for making predictions. At this point today, as the knowledge of the business is better than the AI, if you are not in programmatic, because in programmatic is different. For the meta advertising, we are not using it because at the end we know what our product and we know the analytics. But I think that it would be a good idea for those that are dealing with no proper analytics, for those that are dealing with a huge bunch of advertising that they cannot control easily, for sure, but I'm not using it at this point.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you so much, Fares, for being our presenter today. Thank you, everyone in the audience, for all of your interesting questions. This is the end of the session, the second agency stories of the year. Like I said already in the middle, the recording will be available soon. It will be sent out to you this week via your email. Next to that, we're also happy to announce that the next agency story in March is already ready for you to describe. This webinar is about European marketplaces trends in 2024. It's going to be a deep dive per vertical, and it will be the 21st of March. So we hope to see you there. Thank you so much for your attention. Stay inspired, everyone, and see you in the next episode as we tackle the challenges of multi-channel e-commerce together. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much. Bye.
Bye.